Peace be to you. This is OAbdulMali, physician assistant and health educator. Oh, okay, so I wanted to talk to you physician assistant students who are in the process of filling out your CASPA applications. I wanted to give you guys some advice. Now, when I applied to PA school, this was back in 96. I got in 97. We didn't have CASPA around, so you didn't even need any direct patient contact hours, or I don't even think you needed, like, recommendations, like these hardcore recommendations that are required now. At least for the school to which I applied. But now it's a very involved process just getting into PA school. So for your CASPA applications, there is a section on there for your recommendations, and I've written recommendations for students, but there's a caveat for that. For recommendations, the caveat is how long the person who's writing your recommendation has actually known you. So you want to be very particular about who you ask to write your recommendations. You just can't have anybody who's only known you for a day or two write your recommendation. And I've had students ask me that, hey, look, can I just come past your office and we just chat and you write me a recommendation? Well, I can't do that. Even if I think you'd be a good PA student, or a great candidate for a particular PA program, when it comes to that section that says, well, how long have you known the applicant? I have to have integrity. I have to say, well, I've only known this applicant for a day or a week. I had a young lady spend about 3 months coming to an office coming to my office for when I was doing outpatient clinics, and I was able to write her a really good recommendation based on what I observed of her work. She was able to see patients with me. Unfortunately, the hospital where I work now, I can't do that because of policy. But I'm trying to work on something now. I have a doctor who's agreed to let me come past his clinic and kind of volunteer for a week. No, a week or a couple of days, so I can take students on now. And I think that's more honest, instead of having students just come past and I chat with them and then I try to give them a recommendation based on not even observing them in a clinical setting. Because I want to write good recommendations. Some of the things that I look at when I'm writing recommendations for students: is there real interest in medicine? It's a career in medicine, whether you're going to medical school or PA school or nurse practitioner school. You're writing the same prescriptions for the same, diseases. You're following the same algorithms. When I run codes, as a physician assistant, a hospital physician assistant, I'm not running a code any differently than a doctor would, or a nurse practitioner. You're still giving epinephrine. You still got somebody on chest compressions. You're still ambu-bagging. You're giving amiodarone or whatever. Doing the stuff that's on the ACLS guidelines. When I'm treating people for hypertension, I'm still following J&C guidelines. You're treating the diseases the same. Now, my knowledge base might not be what a doctor's knowledge base is, but you're still expected to follow the same guidelines. This is hard. So it's still medicine. So I want to see a student who has a commitment to medicine, specifically a lifelong commitment or a commitment as a physician assistant. What are your motivations for wanting to be a PA? Yeah, that's what I look for. And I look for maturity also. I can't tell you how often I'm on the receiving end of patients and their family members' ire because they might not be satisfied with the care that they think they should be getting, or they're not satisfied with how slowly the person's healing. You know, they're in the anger stages, quote unquote, of a person who's dying. So I have to have the maturity not to get into a hollering match with the patient or the patient's family members. And that could be challenging when you're at the end of a 12-hour shift and you've done everything you can for a patient and their families. You know, so it takes maturity to deal with that. It takes maturity to deal with staff. You know, as a physician assistant, you're a follower of your supervising physician, but you're also a leader of nursing staff and you know, the patient care technicians and the medical receptionists and the other techs and assistants. They might be the lead PA. You know, so you have to have maturity dealing with your subordinates, and that can be challenging. You know, are you somebody who has the personality type where you don't abuse your leadership, you don't come off as a jerk, you know, but people also respect you? Are you confident without being arrogant? It takes maturity. Not everybody can do that. So that's stuff that I look for, this personality types. I look for people who can be relatively unflappable in, you know, stressful situations. How do you deal with stress? I'm out here in the woods exercising. That's a great way for me to deal with stress. You know, so those are different things that I look for. I also look for, you know, what do you know about the PA field? Crap. Have you done your research about what it means to be a physician assistant? Are you familiar with the history of being a PA? And that'll tell me, you know, the effort that you put in will tell me how much you really want to be a PA. But what I'm doing now is my goal is to try to walk and talk 5 pre-PA students through the process of applying to PA school. So, you know, I'm making myself available to look through people's personal statements. You want to have a good personal statement. You want to have good recommendations. Now, what happens after, so I got about a minute. So after you turn your CASPA statement in, you kind of have to let go and let God, as it were. If you don't believe in God, then fate. Because it's out of your hands at that. You know, you find something to deal with the stress of waiting to find out whether you were flat out rejected or if you've been granted an interview. Please see my videos about the interview process. But it's stressful, but it's also a lot of fun. I've been a PA for almost 20 years now, and it's been a great career. I would not have stayed in this career. I have other degrees, so I wouldn't have kept doing this if I didn't enjoy it so much. I'm very, very fortunate and very blessed and privileged to have been a PA for this long. But I wish you guys the best of success in your positive endeavors. If you're interested, I'm making myself available to look through people's personal statements If I don't I try to get back to people within a week's time. I'm not charging for it. I hope I'm not undercutting people who are charging. I've had so many people help me who never charge me anything. And anyway, I wish you guys the best of success in your positive endeavors. Take care. Peace.